It's 18th of September 25. It's Thursday and it's election day for some people. Some people are blessed to be able to do an election today in the UK. We get so many few chances. Our politicians give us so few chances to vote. In Switzerland, they get to vote on single issues. But here, it's typically every 5 years. That's the way Keir Starmer's thinking, And for the European Court of Human Rights, if Britain were to leave it, it would mean that Britain, Russia, and Belarus would be the only countries not in that court. Whereas with our first past the post democratic system, the only European countries that use it are Britain and Belarus. So we don't even have Russia in that equation. But Keir Starmer's a fantastic supporter of first past the post because, well, in my opinion, it's so undemocratic. But anyway, for those with council by-elections, it's a chance to vote. And this week, because I feel, and I'm talking about from the Reform's point of view, and I'm hoping that people vote Reform as a protest vote on a single issue. And I feel that most, how can I call them, pre-47 Brits want to vote Reform, especially those in the traditional left. But they still feel like the politicians have made it that it's bad to vote Reform, you're being naughty or whatever, so you're being shameful. But I think that's disappearing now because Reform are way ahead in the polls. But also this week we've just had the Tommy March in London where, well, the official count by the police is about 150,000, I think, but I mean, to most people, it looked like Ben Habib suggested it was about 300,000. It's probably a way more than that. It's just a shame that nobody's got a retrospective company that can look at the pictures and, estimate a count. But yeah, so we had that last week. I'm hoping that that's going to make, especially left voters, more. They're going to vote with their heart and their mind rather than listening to Labour MPs and thinking of the last decades of what they'd be called if they'd vote such a party, and so they're too scared to vote for them, even though they want to, on one issue. So let's see how that goes. Also, we've got the post-summer hotel protests, which are still going on. We've got the pink ladies and all that, which has made it more acceptable to, or acceptable is not the right word. What's the right word? It's more they can vote with their hearts and minds, rather than what they've done in 2024 and voted Labour, although most stayed at home for that, actually, because Keir Starmer get less votes than Jeremy Corbyn in 2019 for his victory, his loveless landslide. Okay, let's look at the 6 wards. Yeah, I should say I don't know what I'm talking about, by the way, but to me it looks like Reform probably can win 4, and probably will, in my opinion. And they can't win 2 just because it's changed so much. So blessed are the by-election people. You should take your opportunity to vote on this. You could even just waste your vote if you don't want to vote for anybody, to show you're not happy with the system. I think we should have the Swiss electoral system. Yeah, I'm guessing this is the way Labour and Tories look at these, because they take these by-elections very seriously, because they know it's the people having a chance to vote. We've got so many, it's few chances to vote. In Scotland, we used to be able to vote every 4 years for Holyrood elections, but SNP and the others made it every 5 years, so that was really kind of them, so we don't have to vote. 4 years is just too much. I mean, we should be like Australia. We're going to keep the first past the post. They vote every 3 years. So that's, if you're going to keep a first past the post or something, it's got to be something like that. Anyway, the 2021 census is way out of date because of the Boris waves. So Britain's changed faster over the last 5 years than it has, I don't know, in the last 100 years or something. I think in 2023 we had 1.3 million new people come to the country, so so this is way out of date, but it gives us a clue anyway. So let's look first at the wards. Alright, here's the wards. Brighton and Hove, Queen's Park ward, resignation of a Labour councillor. I'm going to predict, well, I don't think Reform can win this place, as I was just looking there. I don't know, Greens maybe. Cardiff, Trowbridge, Labour councillor. I think this will go to Reform, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know, but I think either Reform or Plaid Cymru probably, or maybe Greens. Newham, I don't think Reform have any chance there, looking at the demographics. Warwick, there's two in Warwick, and I think Reform must be able to, a good chance of winning both, but when I looked at one earlier, so what has this caused anyway? Resignation of a Green Party councillor, so maybe that's a very changed area. So I don't know what's happened to the other one. Let's look at the demographics anyway. I think this is probably what Labour and Tories look at when they're looking at these. I think Labour and Tory would tell us that we're a united people and it's going to be a utopia, etc. But this is probably the way they're looking at these constituencies, how they're going to vote. So Brighton, there you can see that's changed a lot. So I don't think Reform have any chance there. That's 2021. It's changed greatly since then. We've had the Boris wave since then as well. So I don't think Reform have any chance there, really, if that's correct. It's interesting it says the remaining percentage are other groups, because, I mean, that doesn't even look like 90% in what they've got there. I'm going to count it. I mean, that about 78%, roughly. So I don't know what the other 22% would be, but yeah, that's very changed. I don't think Reform have any chance there, really. Cardiff, I think this is a former Labour area, so I think Reform are going to take this. Yes, it has changed a lot. I don't know if it's a city ward. Oh yeah, well, we will. I don't know if it's Cardiff, yeah. So I'm guessing that's going to be, it's probably been Labour forever, and now it's going to go Reform, I would guess. Because Reform are doing really well in Wales, so well done to the Welsh, really. Because they're a single issue protest more, really, but really, they've looked at the Wales. I mean, Reform was saying the other day, they were in Wales the other day, and I think Nigel said it'll no longer be a sanctuary country, because I think there's a charity in Britain where you can get sanctuary status, even though it's not a government official thing, it's just a charity award thing. And I think Wales had that, and so Labour have been very welcoming, and I think they're going to find out what the Welsh think of what they've done, so, and that's only so far. So there you can see that's 82.5%. That should be enough for Reform to easily win that seat this time round anyway. Then we get Newham. Well, I don't think Reform have got any chance there. Plaistow, Southward. I mean, natives aren't even the main grouping there anymore. I don't think they are in that Cardiff ward. Oh yeah, they are. But they're not in the Brighton ward. Well, they are the biggest, but minority by a long way. So I don't think they'll get any chance in those two wards. Warwick, I think they're going to win both. Well, one of them. I would say they're definitely going to win Kenilworth. I don't know. I'm just telling you if this is the way people are voting. So it has changed a lot. And there's 85%. That was 2021, so that'll be down. I don't know what that'll be now. 80%, 78% or something. Should be enough though for Reform. I think that's a former Labour. And then Leamington, Clarendon, and Thingmay. I don't know if Reform can win that. Probably. But it's pretty changed. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one missing. But just to show you how the 2021 census will be out of date, this is this is how many have come since then. Officially, 2021 was estimated at 500,000. I don't know if that's net. I'll ask for total. That's net by the looks of it. So the total was a lot more. Yeah, 22. The total was revised to 872,000. So they predicted at the time 476. This is net, I think. That's not including all the people who make up for all the ones that have left. And in 2023, the net was 906,000. I mean, I don't know how many of these are from Ukraine, and Boris had a thing about Hong Kong. He wanted to let every Hong Konger the right to come as well. I think about 1 million Hong Kong came. 2024, so that's probably net, yeah, 431,000. So that's not really telling me what I wanted. And it's telling you how it's changed. In non-EU, in December 24, were 81% of all long-term immigration, and EU made up 13%. So when we were in the EU, it was probably the other way around, So it's basically done, Boris has done even worse than what we were in the EU. Basically, he's done the total opposite. And Rishi, I suppose, as well. He clamped down a bit. 6% of those were British nationals returning. And here's the top ones in the year ending December 23. Indian, Nigerian, Chinese, Pakistani and Zimbabwean. Well, looking into that anyway, so I think maybe reform should go from Labour to reform. I think Warwick, the Kenilworth one, or is it the other one? One of them will go from Labour to reform, I think. Yeah, the other two, I don't think. The other three, the other Warwick one might be a struggle for reform, I don't know. And the other two, Newham and Brighton, I don't think reform have any chance, really. They might go to the Greens, maybe, or as a protest vote, or for an independent. I don't know. Maybe it's too mixed for an independent that the people would want. Like in East London, we've got the Aspire Party. They have 23 councillors, I think. All of them were former Labour areas. Yeah. Okay. That's all for now. Bye-bye. Let's find out what happens tonight. And remember, council by-elections are a very important thing. Everyone who's interested in British democracy should be following them, because that's what all the politicians are doing.